Hello everyone, and welcome to Quantum Universum. Today, after a long time, I've decided to revisit Transurfing to present you with simple techniques you can practice to change your reality. I've already made several videos about Transurfing and the fundamental concepts it is based on, beautifully illustrated by Vadim Zeland in his books. However, I realize that some concepts can be a bit difficult. Moreover, I found that many people struggle with the techniques in the end. Therefore, I wanted to simplify everything by offering exercises aimed at achieving the same results Zeland advocates. I'll be doing this with the help of Stephen Bailey. You can find the videos I've already published on Transurfing in the playlist dedicated to Transurfing on this channel. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss upcoming videos on personal growth and spiritual well-being. Today, we'll tackle the concept of variance and how to choose the one we desire. But first, let's spend a few words on what a reality variant is. Reality is eternal and already here. Thus, past, present, and future already exist. Reality has two aspects, one manifest and the other unmanifest. Through our thoughts and emotions, which are energy, we live the reality line with which we vibrate. All other reality lines remain available in a place Zeland calls the space of variance. The space of variance can be seen as the universal matrix that contains everything. Here reside all unmanifested realities. These variants are immobile, while material realization moves through space and time. Based on these principles, Zeland asserts that our reality does not need to be created since it already exists. Therefore, it doesn't make sense to struggle and waste our energy trying to change an undesirable reality. Instead, we should move to another reality line that is already available to us. First, you'll need to determine which reality variant you desire, and to do this, you must choose one goal at a time. To make the best choice, you'll start by performing a muscle self-test. This type of test is used to measure the stress level towards multiple things. It can be an object, food, but also a statement, a thought, a belief, and so on. In this case, you'll use the test to discover what your subconscious considers your primary goal. There are two techniques you can use to perform this test. Let's look at the first one together. First of all, even if you're not thirsty, drink a glass of water. It's good to always be hydrated before performing these types of tests. With your eyes open, find a comfortable position for you, either standing or sitting. Join the tip of your left index finger with the tip of your left thumb, making sure the pad of the thumb presses lightly on the nail of the index finger. The hand should be held vertically, about 30 centimeters in front of your chest, with the back of the hand facing you. Now, in this ring formed by your left index finger and thumb, insert the index finger of your right hand and join it with the thumb of your right hand to form another circle. The phalanges of the two index fingers should touch. Now try to pull the fingers, forming the two circles slightly to put the muscles under tension, and check for any slippage. If one of the rings opens, it means your subconscious is under stress. If it's in balance, the two circles won't break. To verify, you need to say some true and some false statements. You can start, for example, by stating your name. In my case, the phrase would be, "My name is Ilaria." Immediately after saying this phrase, do the test by pulling your fingers. If the statement is true, you'll see that the two rings remain intact. Now try stating a false phrase such as, "My name is William." Perform the finger pull test again. You'll see that this time one of the rings will open. Take all the time you need to practice this test by asking other questions, and remember to drink water even if you're not thirsty. If you still don't feel confident with this type of test, don't worry, because now we'll look at another type of self-test you can use. I had already talked about this type of test in another video. Basically, you'll use your body as a pendulum. Again, don't forget to drink a glass of water before performing it. Stand with your legs slightly apart and close your eyes. Your body should be relaxed and not rigid. At this point, say a phrase like, "My name is," and here, of course, say your real name. You'll be surprised to find that your body will sway forward as if you're about to fall. Now say the same phrase again, but use a false name. You'll feel your body sway backward this time as if to fall. This happens because when a statement is true, the electrical impulse from the subconscious mind to the body tends to be charged, causing you to lean forward. Conversely, when the statement is false, the electrical impulse from the subconscious mind to the body will be discharged, causing you to lean backward. A false statement causes subconscious stress, which renders the electrical transmission to the body discharged. As with the previous exercise, repeat other true and false statements to get familiar with it. Now let's move on to the technique for choosing the variant. Take a piece of paper and make a list of various goals you want to achieve. It can be anything in any area. You must be specific and start each sentence with the words "I want." For example, don't write "I want to travel," but instead, "I want to go on vacation to the Norwegian fjords." Once you've written the entire list, choose 10 goals and rewrite them on a new sheet. Don't throw away the first sheet, set it aside, as you'll need it later. Now that you have your 10 priority goals, perform the self-test using the method you're most comfortable with. You can also use both methods and evaluate. The phrase you'll use to perform the self-test is, "The first goal is the priority," and observe the response your body gives. If the result is strong, that is, if, when performing the first muscle self-test, your fingers remained firm, or when performing the second muscle self-test, you had the tendency to fall forward, this represents your subconscious's priority goal. You'll use this goal for the variant visualization. If the result is weak, that is, if, when performing the first muscle self-test, your fingers gave way, or when performing the second muscle self-test, you had the tendency to fall backward, move to the second goal and repeat the self-test. Say out loud, "The second goal is the priority," and repeat one of the muscle self-tests. Continue until you find a goal that results in strong. That will be the priority goal you'll use for your visualization. Once you've found your primary goal, sit down and close your eyes. At this point, I'll guide you with my voice through the various steps and will pause to give you time to proceed. If you need more time, pause the video and resume it when you're ready. Close your eyes and visualize a single scene where you've already achieved your goal. You are the protagonist of this scene, experiencing it in the first person, so observe the scene directly through your eyes. Live this scene by visualizing the result you've already achieved. To help you create this scene, ask yourself the following questions. What would happen if you had already achieved your goal? What would you see at this moment if you had already achieved your goal? Where would you be at this moment if you had already achieved your goal? What would happen around you at this moment if you had already achieved your goal? I recommend including the presence of another person in this scene who witnesses your achieved goal. It has been shown that including the image of another person in the scene makes the visualization more effective. Visualizing this single scene is the only thing necessary to complete the technique. The technique of choosing the reality variant simply consists of this: imagining a scene where you've already achieved your goal. Once you've chosen the scene to visualize, start over from the beginning with the visualization. This time, while you're in the scene, pay attention to the visual images. If, for example, you chose a vacation to the Norwegian fjords, you should focus on what you would see at this moment since your goal is already achieved. You would surely be observing the fjord, stretching for several kilometers inland, flooding ancient valleys of glacial or fluvial origin. In this scene, you should therefore focus on the visual elements that testify to your achieved goal. Now repeat the visualization again, but this time focus on the auditory elements. What would you hear at this moment? Continuing with the previous example, now you would surely be listening to the sound of the water lapping against the ship's hull, perhaps hearing an exclamation of wonder from the person you included in your scene, marveling at such beauty. In this exercise, every auditory element, everything you hear, should demonstrate your already realized goal. Now repeat the same scene, focusing solely on touch, smell, and taste. Everything you touch, smell, or taste in the scene should demonstrate that your goal is already achieved. For example, you could touch the ship's railing, smell the surrounding air, and perhaps taste a local dish or drink. It is essential that you visualize the same scene each time. Rewind the film and reproject the scene in your mind. Each time, imagine the same scene where you've already achieved your goal, and each time try to feel more and more that this scene is the reality you're living right now. Now repeat the scene again, but this time focus on the emotions you feel. What sensations do you feel inside now that you've already achieved your goal? Focus solely on them. Finally, relive the scene again, but this time include all the elements we've seen before, including visual, auditory, tactile, olfactory, gustatory, and emotional elements. At this point, you'll increasingly realize that what you're visualizing is not just your imagination. You are consciously choosing a variant of reality. You are creating your reality. What you're visualizing is already the reality you've realized. You're not imagining your reality, you're living your reality. For the next 5 minutes, repeat this scene and be aware that this is already your reality, and that this reality you've chosen will necessarily manifest in the objective reality. Pause the video and dedicate yourself to the visualization. Now open your eyes. Verify with the muscle self-test if your subconscious has fully acquired the reality of your visualization. Perform either the first or second muscle self-test. If the result is strong, the technique is complete. If the result is weak, repeat the visualization of the same scene for another 5 minutes and then repeat the self-test. Repeat the visualization until it is strong. When you've completed the visualization of the first goal, follow the same procedure with the other goals from the first list. Identify the second, then the third, then the fourth priority goal with the muscle self-test, and repeat the process by re-listening to the guided technique. Once you've completed the goals from the first sheet, move on to those from the sheet you set aside. The best time to perform the visualization is in the evening before going to bed. Try to always stay focused on your goal, on the reality variant you've chosen, with the awareness and confidence that you've defined a reality field that you've sown and you cannot help but reap. Let me know in the comments the results you've achieved. As always, thank you for being with me. And if you liked the video, don't forget to let me know by liking and leaving a comment. See you soon in the next video.